Happy New Year and welcome back to the channel. I'm Greg Mack. Today I'm on a route that I found at my local Trek store. The Trek store in Wildwood, Florida posts great rides around Florida up on their wall with QR codes where you can download your map to the Ride with GPS app. The ride I'm on today goes in and outside of the villages. It's a total of 32 miles and starts and ends at the Trek store in Wildwood. Now, I live near the midway point on the route, so that's where I'm going to start today. But we will do the complete loop, and I'll post a link to the route in the description so you can download it to your own bike GPS unit.
I waited until New Year's Day to ride this route because there is a section of this route that I'm familiar with. That's a very busy road. And I'd rather not do it on, a busy day. But we'll come up on that in a bit. Just gonna slow down here. It looks like we are going to be making a right-hand turn into this development. We're up in the north end of the villages, which is where I live, the historic section. And actually, we're starting this great route in the middle of the route, although I will provide a screenshot, a link to the Ride with GPS route. The route actually starts and ends at the Trek store down in Wildwood, Florida. Being that I'm just getting over the flu, I wasn't about to add an extra 15 miles onto the route by biking down to the Trek store to start there, finish there, and bike an extra 15 miles home. These golf cart lanes are everywhere in the villages. It makes biking so much easier. It's a windy day here in the villages, so I'll be having a nice little tailwind part of the ride and a headwind other times. It's also chilly. We're a cold snap. Cold snap in Florida is 65 degrees. That's a warm spring day where I'm from in Ohio, but I gotta tell you, your body adapts to the Florida climate rather quickly, and I've been wearing my winter coat, hat, and gloves. By the way, I'm using the new Wahoo Element Realm version 3 to navigate. I'll do a review video on that soon. And it looks like we're hanging a left up here, coming up on one of the many recreation centers here in the village. And I don't know if you caught the sandhill cranes on the right. We're heading north on Morse Boulevard, one of the main arteries that runs through the villages. We'll be on here for a hot minute before we head into the village of Rio Grande. Alright, we are outside the villages. I'm heading south on Rolling Acres Road traffic's a lot busier than I thought it would be. So it might get a little interesting. We're coming up on Route 466. Kind of concerned about this one. Think it might be pretty busy today. I know I've got a nice shoulder here on 466 for at least a mile. There's a sidewalk off to the right if I need to use it. Alright, that's at the sidewalk. I'm not a fan of the sidewalks, but we lost the shoulder. Uh-oh, I think we're about to lose the sidewalk too. Hi, this stretch of road, 0 out of 10, I do not recommend. Luckily, traffic is lighter than usual. Alright, now we're back on Morse Boulevard. Near Lake Sumter. I failed on the road for a little bit. For change pace, change the scenery, and to get away from the cars. The cart paths have their advantages and disadvantages if you're a cyclist. Going in and out of the entrances to the different neighborhoods be pretty annoying. One thing I've learned about biking the park paths in the villages is if you're a swift rider, 18 miles an hour, 20 miles an hour, you have a golf cart coming up behind you, slow down, get to the right, because it is very difficult for them to pass you if you're maintaining a 20 mile an hour speed. Then the openings to pass are few and far between on these cart paths. It's not like cars who can really step on the gas to pass you up if they have to. Cutting through the Sea Breeze Rec Center parking lot. There are rec centers everywhere here. So anytime you need to fill your water bottle, just go to one of the pools. One of the rec centers, there'll be a water fountain. It's a cool day out. Looking at the pond next to me to see if there's any gators sunbathing. But it's a small pond, there might not be any that live in there. Nope, no gators. Okay, I am going a little off course because I was on the golf cart path rather than Buena Vista. And if you just follow this cart path, it's going to get you to 466A. Here comes another one of those sandhill cranes. Two of them. They're usually in pairs of gorgeous, gorgeous animals. Hi. Alright, we are coming up on 466A. This cart path's going to take us underneath it. And around to the other side. You can see it over there on the right.
A few moments later.
Here's the deal. We're on the golf cart path, Buena Vista golf cart path, and it's completely bypassed the 466 intersection, so I had to double back. So keep that in mind if you are sticking to the cart paths. When you do this route, make sure you have a GPS that can easily reroute you and get you to where you need to go. So it was actually going to route me through the neighborhoods off to the left here, but I kind of want to stay true to this route, and this is the most daunting part of the route right here. I guess it just depends on whether how well you handle vehicle traffic. So I'm going to wait for a clearing and hop into traffic. This is 466A. We'll be on it for about a mile. I don't really like getting smacked with a headwind. While trying to get through this busy road. Speed limit's about 50 over here. Now the route would have you go straight. It's going to take you to some back roads and over to the Trek store, which is just the start and finish point of this route. That's pretty much an out and back from this point. I'm going to turn and head north. I'm on Powell Road right now. And my GPS is going crazy. It doesn't like that I veered off the routes. We are in the Mac Woods, outside the villages. Beautiful horse country back here. One of these days, I want to stop by that barbecue place. It's always the little roadside stands. I have the best food, in my experience. Coming up on the CSX tracks, looks like we got a train. It may clear out by the time we get up there. And it's moving pretty good. There's a CSX yard about 2 miles south of here. One of these days, I'm going to stop by that barbecue place. It's always the little roadside stands. I have the best food, in my experience. Coming up on the CSX tracks, looks like we got a train. It may clear out by the time we get up there. And it's moving pretty good. There's a CSX yard about 2 miles south of here.
Even on New Year's Day, crossing Route 301 was a rather nerve-wracking experience. It's about 55 miles an hour, which means people drive about, 70. And finding an opening on all 4 lanes to cross on your bike, well, it's a challenge. Traveling down Sumter County Road 222 reminded me of the roads back home in Ohio. Very bumpy and full of potholes. This area is about 20 miles south of Ocala, Florida, which is the horse capital of the world. But did you know that Florida was also one time the #1 state for cattle? I believe Texas holds that title now, but there are still plenty of cattle farms all over Florida and on either side of me here on County Road 222.
Okay, we are headed north. And once again, I gotta say, Florida's not flat. Might not be hilly like West Virginia, but it's definitely not flat. Alright, we're heading east on County Road 202. Should be heading back into the villages in a couple of miles.
Ah, Route 301, we meet again. Let's see if crossing you a second time is any easier. I had to make a stop along County Road 101 for another battery change and to take a quick break. We're only a few miles from the finish line. We're just outside the villages, so it's time to get rolling again.
And here we go. You got some cows over here. Off to the left. They're probably grateful for this cool weather. The Temple Shalom over here to the right is our gateway into the villages. They got a golf cart path that connects. Hopefully the fence isn't locked. I know they're pretty annoyed with villagers bringing their dogs the big area back here and not cleaning up all of the dogs. So clean up after your dogs. The gate's not open. Well, probably gonna add another 5 or 6 miles onto the trip. All right, we're back in the villages, coming out on one of their many golf courses. I believe this is the village of Bel Air. Don't know if we'll run into the Fresh Prince, because I think that Bel Air is all the way over on the other side of the country. Palms are looking brown. They must not like cooler weather. Don't know if you saw that vehicle on the level just now. That's the village's community watch. They ride around the communities, looking out for suspicious activity, keeping us safe. Now coming up, this is where the loop ends for us. This is where I began the video, coming up here. If you were setting out from the Trek store doing this route, you would have headed right. I'm going left, and I'm headed home. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and join me for another great ride around FLA. Have a great day.